Hello and happy Wednesday. How's it going? I need to actually move the camera. There we go. Because when I look at the monitor, I want to be able to see you. That way you can see me. How's everybody doing? Happy Wednesday. Welcome to another Project Healing Waters Fly Tying special. We do this each and every week. Since the initial coronavirus kickoff over a year ago. So every Wednesday, rain or shine, we tie some flies. This is the same time frame as our weekly meetings at the St. Cloud VA, and I figured why not keep that same time slot going. Well, itch on the side of the nose forget that. So I don't know. How's everybody doing? Let's see what's going on. So what we got to talk about a little quick um, is what we're going to be tying tonight, and what we're going to be tying tonight is it's a triangle. It's a triangle bug. Um, it's I'm drawing an absolute blank. I had the name at the tip of my tongue. Oh, when you forget something and it's right there. Ah, anyways, uh, Panfish on the Fly is a Facebook group, and it's also evolved into a website and a business and this, that, and the other. Check it out. That's where I have seen this pattern time and time and time and time again. And as the story goes with the triangle bug, is that uh, it's kind of like a popper. It's a surface fly. Uh, it stays up. It stays close up to the top, and the panfish just go absolutely bananas for it. Um, and it's wedged in a way that they can hit the back end of it. You can catch them on the hook, and they don't necessarily inhale the whole thing because your average panfish, your average sunny, your average bluegill, uh, what have you, they got a really small mouth, and I don't know. So this is kind of my nightly disclosure. This is how I tie them. I mean, I'm not going to tie them absolutely perfect tonight. I think of these as a utility fly. They are by no means a beauty contest winners, but they're a 100% utility fly, I think. And I'm anxious to fish them this spring. I've never tied them before until a few nights ago. Uh, I was asked to show somebody how to tie some, and I was like, well, let me do some research on it real quick, figure it out, and make sure I got all the necessary tools and supplies. And I said, wow, this is such a fun little tie. I think I'll teach this to my friends at my Project Healing Water special. So who do we got in the house tonight? Looks like we got one, two, tray, four. Four, and to do a quick check, the seven, seven, the rolling 7-day average percentage for Minnesota, we are currently at 7.1%. So that's a no-go for all face-to-face Project Healing Waters activities, no matter the size of the group. So we continue doing this. Yeah, it's the only way out of this whole coronavirus thing is through this coronavirus thing. I think there's going to be no shortcuts allowed. Um, you know, just watch the raw data come in, watch the percentages. It's a percentage game. The more vaccines we get in arms, and we avoid super spreader events and junk like that. I guess the sooner we get back to getting busy. So, all right, let's tie some triangle bugs, and that's enough jibber jabber out of me. Let me flip this camera over. Boom, boom, boom. And there we go. 3 cast rich in the house. So has anybody ever tied or fished the triangle bug? I think this is just a fantastic little fun little tie. I'm going to be tying these on a streamer hook. This is a size 8, and what we're looking at is a 2x long or perhaps a 3x long. We're looking for just a little bit longer than a regular shank. I tied one on a 3366, and it just didn't quite. Here's the Mustad 3366, and just to kind of compare the size and the shape. You know, these eyes are at the same position, so you can really see. You know, they're both size 8s. You know, the relative tips of the hooks are right about there. But, you know, 3366 is just going to be a little bit too short. We don't want no short hook. Good evening, Dave. So, as I mentioned earlier, until the rolling 7-day average starts dropping below 5%, any face-to-face Project Healing Water operations will not be moving. I need to set this hook off to the side. Alright, so I happen to have this nice green strip. This is from my, I cut these out for the gurglers a while back. And I have a couple of different ways of measuring and tying this out. And I think this width will be just about right. I think this will be pretty good for us. And what I'm looking for width, so this is about, you know, it's all about tying things proportionate. If we can see the back end of the hook there, that seems to work out pretty well. And it's like, how big is this? Well, it's proportionate to the hook. But I mean, if you want a measurement, that's what it measures at. What's that, 1/2 inch? 1/2 inch thereabouts. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this going. It's basically bucktail, rubber legs, and foam. And a little dab of Gluya. Hey Josh, thanks for tuning in. You know what? You guys let me know if I should zoom in or not. I can never really tell what's the best situation. All right, thread. Everything gets covered up, so I'm just going to use a little bit of black 210. Why not? We'll lay a little thread base. And the first thing we're going to tie in is our bucktail. We'll go ahead and get our thread back here quite a ways, right to the bend. There we go. And a little bit of bucktail. I wonder what color bucktail we should use. Let me get to that bucktail. I think chartreuse would be a great color. What do you guys think? And I think for colors for this pattern, you know, you got your chartreuses, your blacks, your browns, your olives, etc., etc. So I'm just going to take off a little pinch here. I really don't like that one. I'm going to grab a different patch of bucktail. Because not all bucktail is the same, and this is just like some really... Maybe I won't go with the chartreuse. Or maybe I will. We will. Alright. A little bit of bucktail. You don't need to go too bananas with it. But what do we like to do with our hair? We always like to give it a clean. Hold it by the tips, grab a brush or something, and we'll take all these shorts, little fibers out, or hairs. And we're going to throw this into the hair stacker. Tips down. Helicopter that in and good enough. Alright, let's go ahead and measure out a hook's length thereabouts. I think that'll do. We're going to tie this in on the back side. A couple tight wraps. And I'm actually going to run this all the way forward and tie this in because this is going to give us just a little bit more buoyancy. Alright, and I left myself a little bit of room up front, but I gave myself a, I didn't give a tapered cut, I left it kind of a blunt cliff. I don't want to necessarily do a taper because I want a little something that's going to stop my foam from going back, if that's even a possibility. I don't really think it is. It's like we do a lot of things to our flies that I think is just above and beyond more than necessary to what will actually hold everything down. I found, look at this pattern. This is kind of a froggy barred rubber leg, and we're going to go with one. I'm going to take one of these off. I need to stop using those nice scissors for all this rubber and foam. If you're messing around with rubber and foam, that's when your not super nice scissors come in handy. That's when you can get away with the elder scissors. All right. Multiply by dividing. I got two here now. If I tie these in like this, I'm gonna go with the olive facing forward. No, I'll go with the chartreuse facing forward, and these olive ones will come off the back. Alright, so here's the trick. Couple of wraps of thread. We're going to go underneath Pull it all up and over and around, and just like that, everything's going to be held. I'm going to do one more soft wrap, and then I'm going to take this side and fold it over. Okay, nice and tighten it up a little bit, and then fold the legs forward. Work our thread to the rear. All right, so here we are. I got a couple of ways. I'm going to show you a couple of different ways. You can either start off with a big long strip of these. I wonder how these compares to the other ones I cut earlier. So I was messing around with these earlier, and these are the pieces that I end up with. And they do make a cutter out for these triangle bugs. And we're going to end up folding it over to make our triangle. I didn't notice I had these. And I just eyeballed the angle. And where do you think I've kind of came up with this particular shape? Gee, I wonder if I might have took that shape from somewhere. But it's a triangle. It's that blunt front end. Anyways, all right. Super simple. We're gonna tie this in. Just fold and hold those legs back, and the best way to suffer through it is to just suffer through it. Start off with the soft wrap. All right. At this point, we're going to flip the whole operation over. If you have a full rotary vise, this would be your opportunity to show off your skills and just rotisserie it over. All right. This is going to end up folding over and going back. But before I just try to ramrod that hook through, I'm just going to give it a little bit of compression. It's going to leave a little indentation, and use something sharp like Mr. Bodkin here and give that a little punch. We'll give it a little test fit. And these front legs are going to go straight out, and these back legs are going to go at a slight angle. But before we go too far, it's going to be a little dab of glue. I'm going to be using some gel control for this. Zap-A-Gap, whatever you want to use. It's just a little dab right here in the middle. Because what happens is as you squeeze, it's going to spread out. I'm going to go a little dab there and a little dab right there. Carefully get that underneath and position those legs where I want them. Alright, this is just going to give us our temporary hold while we tie in the remainder of the foam. So you can just give that a couple of wraps. Once you got it started, it's going good. Alright, so in all the videos and all the pictures that I've seen, a lot of attention gets spent back here really wrapping this all in and covering this all up. Me personally, I think it's just a little bit too much. And with that being said, I'm just going to go in straight for the kill and do the whip finish. Just let your legs bounce around. Keep the tension on there. Whoop. That's once. A couple of half hitches would work just as good too. Because the reality is everything's glued together at that point. Alright, as far as trimming up the legs, maybe just a little bit. I mean, let that sucker get in the water. And you could trim those legs off, riverside, lakeside. Just make sure you can get your line through the eye. And that's the triangle. What do you think? Questions, comments, concerns? It's a relatively quick tie. I mean, especially once you sit down and make just some general shapes, you can really get into mass production mode of these. So let's flip back around and check in on the chat. See how everybody's doing. I want to just take a second, interact with everybody. Move my... Who else has a thing labeled foam scraps? All sorts of stuff. All sorts of big pieces of foam. Different foam for different projects. Look at it. This is 49 cents. Foamtastic door hanger. I mean, they cut a big hole in it, but I'm sure that'll work for something. Now, I'm going to experiment with this on my own time, but I wonder how big of a triangle bug I could tie. I mean, if I tied one like in a 6/0, not a 6/0, but a 4/0, because I mean, if panfish, I mean, this is the size 8's designed for panfish, right? So, you scale things up. You just got to scale things up. What do you think? Steve, good evening. Thanks for tuning in. How are we doing tonight? Let's do a quick roll call. Let me know in the chat what the last fly check. Check your fly. What was the last fly that you tied if you didn't just tie a triangle bug? What was the last fly you tied? I'm anxious to hear from everybody. We got 7 people. I can see it right there. You can see it. It says, let's see, right there. 7. There's 7 people tuned in. I may or may not be one. I know we got Richard, David, Josh, David, James, Steve. Then I could be the 7th. Let me know what your last fly was. Let me know in the comments. And we're going to get going on the next triangle bug. The foam is a 2mm. 2mm craft foam. Closed cell is what you're looking for. And you have to give it an experiment. If you're not certain whether it's a closed cell or open cell foam, I mean, before you go spending a whole bunch of money, and when I say a whole bunch of money, I mean more than $2-3 on it. Experiment with it. Give it a try. Because not all chartreuses are the same. Look at this. How's that for That's 3 different colors. I was thinking about tying a black one. I think this in black would be absolutely great. So with that being said, what did I just do with my... I lost my shape. Exhibit A, where did you go? Ah, there it is. I'm going to cut one of these out of my sheet. Because I'm not going into mass production mode on these, I'm just going to give it a quick and dirty in front of the camera cut. So I'll just get it roughly into shape. Boom. Boom. This is so much fun. I love fun with foam. And I think that'll do it. Oh, this side needs just a little bit more of a... It's almost too easy. Fold it in half, clean it up if you want. But like I said, I'm not trying to make these an absolute perfect match. Oh, you know what we could do? I wonder if we could glue a little eye on it. Let's set this one off to the side. Alright, we got a Prince Nymph, a Palmered Caddis, Stonefly, and the Too Easy Caddis. Awesome. I like that Too Easy Caddis. I like it. It was too easy. I mean, I don't know why we think fly patterns have to be so complex and complicated all the time. It just doesn't make sense. Alright, let's go ahead and come in with our thread. Size 8, this is a 2x long streamer hook. I'm using these Moonlets ML054s. Little barbless hook. And, you know, panfish are just, I don't know. You definitely want to smash or mash your barb if you're fishing for panfish, unless you're looking to just absolutely gut them. Nothing's worse than having a sunny or any kind of panfish just inhaling the hook. Oh, what color tail? What color tail? Do we want to go black? Maybe just do a black and white. I want to keep it dark is the purpose. I think dark color would just be great for that nice overcast day. And I'm looking for a bucktail that's not going to necessarily super flare. This looks and feels good. It smells like bucktail, but smells like bucktail to me. Oh man, I just watched that movie Tropic Thunder the other night. Robert Downey Jr. I know who I am. I'm a dude disguised as a dude. Or I'm a dude playing the dude that's disguised as another dude. Clean our bucktail. And I always find it best to pinch and let it roll let those fibers, let the hairs roll in your fingertips. As you just gotta let it all roll together, and that takes it like this, and it just starts breaking it all open. Makes things much mo better. We like things that are mo better. Tips down into the old hair stacker. Sometimes you really gotta whack it. Ooh, we got Dave Lee in with the Stealth Bomber. Awesome. I like that Stealth Bomber. That's another. I have not. That's another one that I haven't. I haven't tied that since. I think that was probably the last thing we tied together. Was the Stealth Bomber. All right. Let's find our. Hook's length. Couple nice tight locking wraps. And leave it go all the way up to about that eye's length behind the eye. Eye. Lock that all down. And we'll get the rubber ready. Let's see. I need some sort of. See, this is what I got. This is what I get to work out of. I got a whole bag of stuff. Look at that Jan's Netcraft. I have no idea what else is in this bag, but this is what it started off as. Sample pack. Ooh, I like that. I really like the barred action on these little square rubber legs. Silly legs, fun legs. I'm sure this pattern, like I said, we're sitting here at a size 8. I kind of want to see about tying this. I might want to see if I can't tie a super one. Giant triangle. What do you think? Do we go for it? Do we try a giant triangle? I wonder what hook I would use. Could probably, you know, it would be a good hook for that. Would be the wide gap popper hook that I like to use. A few locking wraps, a little bit on each side. Perfect. Because the foam is going to mush over everything and get it into place. Right there to the rear. Alright. I think this will work. I think so. We'll fold the rubber legs back. Set that on top. And I know I got just a little bit of an overlap. Just a little bit of a flare out. I didn't do this last time, but I'll just do one wrap back there. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's go ahead and flip it over. And we'll do our dry flip. Center that, flip it over, I'm not necessarily trying to pop it all the way through, just enough to make a little indentation. Then you can see where you need to pop the bodkin in. I think that'll be just fine, fine, fine. A little dab will glue you. Alright. Just a little dab in between the legs. A little bit up there on the chest, or right on the shank. Fold and squeeze. Like I said, it's like the glue is pretty much holding it all down, and really the thread is kind of the insurance policy. Once you got a few wraps, you can go ahead and flip it over. Alright, let's just throw, I'm going to do a hand whip finish. Once, twice, and 3 times. A couple of half hitches would do just fine. And I will do a little dab of insurance policy in this one, because we know how panfish like to fight. I got out to my little practice pond, the secret on the map, don't tell nobody where it's at kind of lake. And I got a couple of bluegill, a couple of sunny, and a shiner. First fish of the year was a shiner. How about that? I don't know, it's probably length of my hand. How long is my hand? That was probably 6. It was probably an 8-inch, probably 7-inch shiner. Easy. I don't usually measure or weigh things when I catch them. Sometimes I just snatch a quick picture, but beyond that, I don't know. So that is a triangle bug in black. And like I said, you know, in the other pictures, and I think if you were to buy this off of the Panfish on the Fly website, there's a lot more attention to detail right here. Just tucking this all in, tying this all in. But I figure, why bother? I mean, I don't know. I think I mean, we could probably cut it down a little bit. Maybe. Okay, I suppose we could trim it down just a little bit. Just the foam. But beyond that, I don't know. But I like the black one. And chartreuse. Probably do that same thing down here on this one. Just give that a little bit tidier of a trim. Mind your legs. I guess you wouldn't want to trim your legs off, but I don't know. I think it's going to do its intended purpose in the water. I'm not too worried about it missing or messing things up. Ben, good evening. Thanks for tuning in. Have no fear. Hey, Ben, to catch you up, we've all have punched in the chat what the last fly we tied was. If you want to catch up with the rest of the class, let us know what the last fly you tied was. Big or small. And that's some good coffee. I love coffee. What can I say? Let's do another one. Let's do one in yeller. See, this was the 3366. It was just doesn't look or feel right. Needed a longer shanked hook. This one I did without glue. I just tied it, and for whatever reason I cut the legs on that one. So that one was kind of a no-go. And if you see this print foam, don't waste your time on it. It just comes right off. It looks good, but I don't know. I wouldn't invest too much emotional stock into that print lasting long, especially after fishing. The other day, this is what I got. Dave, you were out there with your Timberwolf. This is what I got. This is what I was fishing with the other day. Kind of a little soft hackle. We tied this on Monday, and the hackle did not last long. That soft hackle, they just tore it up. Same hook, same size 8 streamer hook. Let's go ahead and bada boom, bada bing. And it's this. These are, what did I say? These were 2X. Oh, also from Monday's live stream, I had a couple of questions about this. Look at this. Donald Dubois, 1961. All right, you human calculators, figure out how many years old this hackle and hook gauge is. And just a little bent, a little off whack, but I really like this. I have not used the actual hackle gauge on that. This seems to kind of do the same thing, but this gives you a tail length for wet flies and dry flies. It's all about proportions. See how things look. Keep things relative to itself, and you will find great success. Great success. 59. What? I thought it was 2021. 21 and 61. Isn't that 60? Or is it, you don't count the counting this year? Well, it's older than me. I'll tell you that for free. I'll tell you that for free. Alright, we're going to do what color? Yellow? I got some yellow foam here. And it looks like that'll do us just fine as far as our width. Might be a little bit narrower up front, but I think it'll work. I came across one decent shape, and I've just been using this one piece of foam to more or less replicate. I don't spend any time measuring or anything. I need to trim this back just a little bit. Even it up. Like I said, this isn't it's not a showstopper fly. It's not a beauty queen. This is a utility fly. I would consider it about as functional as you want it to get. So what color tail do we go with our yellow body? I think maybe we should go with the black hackle, or not black hackle, but the black bucktail. Let's do that again. A little black and yellow. That's a winning color combination if I've ever seen one. Alright, let's clean out this deer hair. Clean out the bucktail. A couple like super random oddball long ones. Let's go helicoptered into the old stacker, and I'm going to hit mute. Because it's the sudden stop. It's the sudden stop is what stacks this all together. There we go. Tie this in up front. And I'm tying in the rubber legs just rear of the frontmost edge of that deer hair, because I want that to, I don't know, I just don't want to crowd the eye. I think if what I was doing earlier, if you tie it in too far forward, they'll both actually smush back, and we want those front legs to stick out perpendicular. Uh-oh, notification didn't work. Well, welcome to the party. We appreciate it. We're letting everybody know what we tied. Our last fly, all sorts of them. Ben, last fly tied was a peacock hurl nymph variation of the Utah killer bug. Nice. That's awesome. I like that killer bug. That's a good one. I need to find my legs. What kind of legs do I want? I'm going to do yellow body. Let's see. I think these ones will work just fine. Let's go with these black and silver barred legs. We'll just trim one out of the hide, the rubber hide. Suppose we could have, I don't know. It's kind of a don't overthink it thing. Definitely try not to overthink it. We'll multiply it by dividing. We'll take our one rubber leg, multiply it by dividing it in half. What? How does that even work? I don't know. Alright, take a couple extra wraps of thread. We will lift and lower both of these up on top. And we'll go once, twice soft wraps, position on the side. Add a little tension, lock those in. And that's the thing, is they'll don't have to go too bananas locking it in either. Like I said, once you get this glue in there, you know where that's going? Nowhere, that's where. Alright, we're working with these, what, yellow ones? I think that's looking good. We'll set this on top. Oh, get those rubber legs back. Set that on top. We're going to do 1, 2, and then you can add some tension. And part of the reason why I'm using this larger 210 denier thread, I think it would be a little bit too big for a hook this size, but you know, we're not tying in too much material. I'm going to do one wrap around just the shank. A few wraps on top of the foam, and then just really all you got to do is one on over the shank, up and over. Alright, flip mode. Rotisserie that over. Fold it, mark it just by pressing it down. I'm not, if you just try to ramrod that through, you're going to rip that foam and you're not going to be too pleased with it. So just take a bodkin. It just has to get started. Pop that through. We are GTG. You know what GTG means? Good to go. Alright. I don't know. It's been a long rainy day. It's been such a long rainy day, I even took a nap. This old man does not nap well. Not much of a napper. I have to be pretty exhausted. Or a rainy day like today. Couple little drops. I'm going to do one little drop there, one little drop there. Just enough to wet the foam. Sure those rubber legs are more or less at the angle you want them at. And give that son of a gun a squeeze. Oh yeah. Okay, just like we did the top, we'll do 1, 2 soft wraps, and then you can start adding a little bit of tension. By the time we get to wrap 3, it's more or less all in there. And I like to flip it back over because I'm just used to the hook being in that position. Let's go once, twice, thrice. And I think I'll give that a little dab of insurance policy back there as well. But this will just take a little drop of some of the secret sauce. Some Sally Hansen's. Alright. That's it. That's a pretty cool triangle. No, we freestyle cut this. I kind of worked my way around. I ended up with just figured out what size I wanted it to work with this hook, and yeah, I mean it's basically the width. I have roughly about the hook length minus the, I don't know, from the eye to the tip of the hook, and then from there I established my width, and then I just kind of came up with a taper that I liked. that match the length. And it's kind of using, it's like a flatted out version of this. What do you think? This is one of my favorite poppers right here. This one sticks around. I don't know. I think it works. What do you guys think? Definitely crank through those pretty quick, fast, and in a hurry. We'll do maybe one or two more. And then I was thinking about maybe going crazy and tying a big one. What do you guys think? Should we try a super triangle? How would it look on a B10? I don't think a B10 has the length of the shank. I don't know. What do you guys think? What other colors? Let's go. I got chartreuse, I got black, I've got yellow. Maybe a pink. Ooh, red. Can't go wrong with red. I got all these little bits of foam laying around from the crease fly. Remember the crease fly? That was a fun one. So let's see here. I'm just gonna do a quick cut. An under spin fly and that block head popper. I don't know what an underspin fly is. You'll have to learn us. What's an underspin fly? Oh yeah, I was using the red for the insides of the crease flies. Just like that. Oh, I guess I could. Yep, my big fancy foam cutter are my scissors. I guess you could, if you're really tying a whole bunch of these, I'm sure the cutters would just be fantastic accessory to have. Alright, that got me started. Like an underspin jig. I don't know what an underspin is. I gotta look it up. Underspin jig. Jig. Images. Oh, okay. Alright. So, oh, the spinner thing. That's what we're talking about. I think. Well, you could find an underspin on the blockhead. I don't know. I don't know if I don't know. Oh, that's combining two different worlds. And people are going to say, "Can you do that?" And I'm going to say, "Why not? Go for it. Send it. Nothing new ever happens if it never gets done." I say go for it. I'm not familiar with underspinners, but I don't know underneath the popper because the popper is creating a splash, and the spinner I think you need forward momentum to spin it. I don't know. Send it and let us know. We're going to continue on with triangles. I'm seriously considering tying a much larger one of these, but I want to manage. I need to manage my time. Don't want to burn ourselves out. No sense of getting to the big fly, the crazy over the top. What are you thinking? Madness. Because I have to disconnect my headset. No, I don't have to disconnect it, but I just have to take my headset off to get to those hooks. Those are in their stowed position. I think I could do it in a 1/0. I think that'd be a good wide gap potential. We're going red for this one. All right. So, what color bucktail should we go with? The black or with the red? Red body. Should we go white bucktails? Do we do a red and white? I think a red and white is in order. I think that would be proper. A little red and white. But it's not. None of it happens without the thread. Let's go ahead and start it up. It all begins with a single wrap of thread. Continue those thread wraps to the rear. And what did we say we're going to do? White. White bucktail. I think this will do just fine. I think maybe this size 8, I think you could almost get away with calf tail. You could easily do marabou. I mean, anything you want to stick on the back for a tail, I'm sure will work. I'm not really certain why it wouldn't. Imagination is your only limitation when it comes to tails. A whale of a tail to tell ya. Alright, that should work. About a hook's length. Run our thread up. Good enough. Alright, that means we gotta find some white legs. Oh boy. I have a hopper. Here we go. Actually, I have it right here. It's my it's my bobber. It's my bobber hopper. What do you think of that? A little red and white. For those who insist on staring at something red and white in the water for something to happen, I think we'll go with these. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It's not barred, but I wonder if they glow. Nope. Alright, let's trim one of those, harvest one of those off. Multiplication by division. They're roughly about the same length. Then, I don't know, measure that out. What are we at? 2.5 inches in length, thereabouts. Thereabouts. Actually, this has just one little. There we go. Lift and lower. 2 soft wraps. That's it. Lock them in. Nothing follows. I like it. Hey Noah, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. What was the last fly that you tied? We're going through, and that's the question of the night. What's the last fly that you tied? If it wasn't a triangle bug, uh-oh. I saw something and I bent over to pick it up and I hit the phone. Let's go ahead and hold those back. Set that in place. We'll go uno, dos. Start adding some tension. 3 times. Then we'll do one wrap around the shank of the hook. And that'll be good. Good enough until you glue it. Flip this over. See, my legs are getting caught. We'll use a fancy bodkin. Clear that out. There we go. We'll mark it. We'll finish the job with the bodkin. I think that'll do us. A little dab of glue ya. Using some gel control. Some gel control. Just a little dab on the shank and a little bit on the flank. Give it a squeeze. Alright, we'll finish tying off the foam. Alright, finish this off, do a couple half hitches, or my hand is wanting, there we go. If you want to learn how to hand whip finish, my best advice is sit there with a bare hook and watch what happens as the whip finish tool does its thing, and then just see how that works as you grab the two sides. I mean, it's amazing. Amazing what your brain's capable of doing. You know, I'm not even going to bother trimming any of these legs. I'm just going to let them be until they get in the way, and then the fish will either bite them off or, I don't know. So we got a black and yellow, black and black, chartreuse and chartreuse, yellow, red and white. What do you think? What do you think? Alright, you know, I'm going to, let's see here, where'd my foam go? Maybe I'll go with this kind of a more of an olive. We can agree that this is chartreuse and this is chartreuse. I don't know. We'll go with this darker color. We'll call it an olive. Alright, just use my little template. Close. We need to fold and do just a little bit more of a triangle. Here we go. That'll fish. I'll tell you that for free. Alright. 2x long streamer hook. You'd really, ultimately, I guess, you know, you'd want things to be a little bit lighter gauge wire if you were concerned about things being too heavy. But at this moment, I am not. Huh. found a whole bunch of little pocket of flash glue. Alright, let's see if this olive will do us. A little bit of olive bucktail. It's not the best of bucktail, I'll tell you that for free. Always clean your hair. Always brush your hair. Alright, let's get this going. Boy, those stacked up real nice though. Can almost see the little residual marks of the dye. Huh. About a hook's length, a little bit longer. I think that'll work. And that shelf helps everything from sliding back. At least that's our theory. That'll work. Let's find some legs. Nah, not those. Ooh, these ones. Yeah. Well, I tell you what, man, having a variety bag of rubber legs like this is just so much fun. Especially the way I like to tie. I don't necessarily like sitting down and tying a whole platoon's worth of whatever fly. It's give me some variety and I'll have fun with it. Now, unless you come across something like a Mr. Brown or something like that. But even then, how many different colors of Mr. Browns are there, Mr. Coleman? It all started with Mr. Brown. And you got variations, spin-offs of different colors. That's the best part of it. Just being able to experiment and establish new variations of things that you like and love. Don't have to spend too much time reefing that down, just enough to make the point. Just fold them back out of the way, I found, and then you can just rest your finger on top. And I'm eyeballing that apex every time I do this. That looks good. That's one full wrap. That's two full wraps. Start adding tension. 3, maybe 4. two around the shank. We're back in action. Back in action, Jackson. Alright, we'll do our dry run. Make our imprint. And you ramrod the bodkin in there. Just like that. Too easy. Too easy. A little dab of glue. Using some gel control for this. Just a little dab on the shank. And then a little dab on the flank. Just on each side. Just a little dab on the foam. Tiniest little dab. You don't want to over glue it. Give that a firm, solid squeeze. And then we'll start locking this off. Ah. Rubber legs. Uh-oh. Get out of there, you. Aw. Hi, Claude. Claude and Dave. If you don't know, Claude and Dave Coleman started our local program here at Project Healing Waters. The date we have written down, or I have written down, is December of 2008 is when Dave and Claude first got our program up and running through Project Healing Waters, through the St. Cloud Fly Anglers program. I'm going to shorten those back legs up just a little bit, just at least so they're the same length as the front. Thereabouts-ish. I think the worst that could happen, if you want to be a worst case scenario operator, is this. You get that leg stuck. Well, we got a nice little fleet of these hatching. A little triangle bug hatch. Trying to get these situated. There we go. Got this little thing I just hang them all on for now. So we got, let's see, what's our next on the docket? What's next on the Got black and yellow. I guess I'll just put them all back up here. We've got a black and yellow. We've got our chartreuse. We've got olive. We'll call that olive. We're calling this black. And we've got our red and white. I say we roll into our big one. What do you think? All right. 2, 2, 1 out. I think we're going to go with a 1 out. And I think we're going to have to go with a slightly bigger foam, maybe. We'll see. We shall see. That's always fun, stacking them up like that. All right. We're going to go with this specialty hook. Now I'm thinking if we go with our 2 mil foam, it might be just a little too thin proportionately. I do have this, but would this be too much? I think that might be too much. So, what if we doubled it up? That's I think we'll just send it as is, just this one sheet. So if that is our width, let's do that. That's my mark. That's going to be my width. do this for a length. And then we'll make our triangle about like that. And about like that, maybe a little bit more on this side. Yeah, buddy. All right. Super triangle. What do you call a super triangle? The greater, the Bermuda Triangle? I don't know. Supersize, jumbo. Let me know, what do you think? What do you call a jumbo supersized fly? 'Cause, I mean, all of its other friends are, you know, size 8s. And then here comes one in a 2-aught. It's like, hey guys, what's going on? Why are you so small? And they're looking at him like, what? Why are you so big? But then again, if you think your flies are talking to each other in the box, then I don't know. But just because it's a big fly doesn't mean it gets away from getting its thing cleared and trimmed. In fact, I think this one we're actually going to add some flash to the tail. This one is going to be big enough. I think it's going to earn a little flash. Same as before. Let's get this one oddball out of here. Und Hooks length. Yeah, I like this. A little bit of flash. I think I got some crystal flash handy. Ooh, I think this will look good. I got some of this straight olive green Northern Lights flash. This is pretty stuff. Add a little dab of this. Just a couple of strands. And like everything else, we like to multiply by dividing. Get the most bang for our buck out of our materials. Let's go this side and that side. I like that. Must have just got that flash. Alright, we need to go up front and do our rubber legs, and I think because this is so much bigger, I think I'm just going to double up on the legs. Instead of doing 2, we'll do 4. I think that'll... That'll work just fine. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do 2 on either side. Yeah. So I'm actually using 4 rubber legs with this one. I just broke that edge off. And these are just going to get tied in straight up. No multiplication by division. Alright, let's get 2 over to the far side. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. I mean, something that's designed for a size 8 hook. I think I might have to shorten you up just a little bit. Alright, let's follow these legs out of the way. Flip that bad boy over. Go ahead and pop that hole, and just be mindful when you go to actually poke the eye of the hook through. Just remember, you gotta tip it with a hook. Don't forget you got the tip there. You don't have to be a big spender to be a good tipper, or a decent tipper. That's been my rule of thumb. You don't have to spend a lot of money to be a decent tipper. I'll tell you that for free. Alright, let's glue this down. Alright, same as before, a little bit on the shank and a little bit on the flank. Give that a squeeze. Let's pull the front legs up. The back legs where they want to be. Give her a squeeze. Boy, this is almost froggy-ish. Boy, oh boy. So, yeah, you can tie it anywhere from a size 8 all the way up to a 2 aught or a 1 aught. Yeah, we'll just trim this little bit of extra off, and I bet you I catch a bass or a pike on this. What do you think? So I got bass or pike written all over it compared to its little friend. But yeah, when I was asked to kind of look up this pattern and teach it to somebody, just I can teach anybody how to tie almost anything. All I got to do is figure out how to tie it myself a time or two, and it's the technique. It's I'm not inventing the flies, but yeah, the triangle bug, man. This is a great panfish fly. Um, I'm looking forward to going bananas with it. Here, this I'll probably go take it out here sooner than later. But yeah, with yellow foil eyes up front. Now it's like with the super popper, with the big ginormous one. Um, I don't know, where would I put the eyes? Would I go? Would I go up front or underneath? Actually, underneath. You could probably come up with some sort of pattern. I bet you a pike smashes this. I think so. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. I guess I could put a couple of googly eyes on it. Let's do that. Let's do that on this super big one. Got a few minutes left. Let's do the hokey pokey. We'll spin ourselves back around. I'm going to glue a couple eyes on it just because. Yep, it's going to happen. It's happening. Oh! Sorry about that. I just got a little excited. Googly eyes. I love googly eyes. Derp. Because I should have pushed it back just a little bit, but whatever. It's on there now. Or for now. Usually something like that. Usually when you do something that fun onto a fly, it doesn't last long. Yeah, I don't know. Wouldn't be able to get it to really stay. There's not much mass all the way up front, but I don't know. To me, it's just for fun, really. And yes, that's my technical term I use. Googly eyes. I don't know. Hollow bubble craft eyes. I don't know what the generic paste on eyes. Yeah. I don't know. I call them googly eyes. They help float. They make a little noise. It's like a micro rattler, and it's a yeah. I don't know. But I think I'm gonna wrap it up for the night. It's like I was saying earlier. It's been a super long day. Um, but I don't know. It's the weather, 100%. The weather just kind of drains you down. But yeah, I think we're gonna leave it at that. That's the gist of the triangle bug. Typically tied in a size 8. We went through a few iterations of that. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed tying the triangle bug. What's really freaky is after I was researching the triangle bug, Googling it and watching a couple of YouTube videos, looking up some images, I got an advertisement for Airbnb. Stay at the Triangle House. Weird. But I don't know. We'll do this again next week. Next live stream will be Monday the 12th. For about an hour. Join me on Mondays if you're not on the Monday crew. We have a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun on Mondays. But don't say Monday like it's a bad word. We'll keep at this as long as we have to. Let me know in the comments after the live stream. Let me know what you want to see tied. Some suggestions or some ideas, some inspiration. Yeah, maybe we'll do some panfish flies next week. I don't know. Or maybe we'll just do some soft tackles. I don't know. Next Wednesday seems so long away. But anyways, thank you all for watching. Please hit that thumbs up button. Yeah, or not. Thank you all for watching. Stay healthy out there. Please stay safe. Happy tying. Yeah, sure, you betcha. Tight lines. Peace.